greatest thrill.
They tried and failed.
They tried and died.
You're dealing with the creme de la creme.
Okay, last album then. This one's a little bit different from what we'd normally cover because it's a compilation by various different artists, as opposed to a sort of single body of work by a band or artist. So this is called Sounds Like Van Spirit, a collection of Europe's Pavement Melodies. It's, well, the version I have, so I've got this, I have the record, got it here. So this is 23 tracks on the album. So there's 23 songs on there. I don't know how long it is because I couldn't find out how long it was, and I couldn't be arsed adding up all the track lengths to figure it out. So I don't know, it's maybe an hour, an hour long, something like that.
Well, the one that I've managed to get a hold of contains 33 songs.
So I sent you the download, and that's got like 10 bonus tracks.
Right. Well, that was just over 2 hours long, that one.
Right, okay, so the whole thing, if you buy it and download it, the whole thing's like 2 hours. But it's maybe an hour and a half or something then, on the basis of this sort of 23 album tracks.
Uh-huh.
So I just figured this would be a cool album to talk about because it's an interesting project. It's basically a young audio engineer by the name of Martin Berger decided to buy up an old van, kit it out with loads of studio equipment, and drive around Europe and record the music of various street performers he's met along the way. So over a period of roughly 2 years, he visited 25 countries, recorded with over somewhere between 20 and 30 artists, and it's just a good showcase for sort of unknown talent across Europe, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
The album I've got here, that's the culmination of the project. It's a double vinyl. Like I said, there's 23 tracks. And the download that I sent you has an extra 10 bonus tracks. So, as you might expect from an album featuring street performers, there's a ton of acoustic-driven singer-songwriter stuff on here. But the album also features rappers, and there's lots of string instruments, brass instruments, double bass. There's full band performances at certain points as well. So, what's your thoughts on Sounds Like Van Spirit in general?
Yeah, I would agree with what you're saying there. Like, the album opens with what I've described as a kind of Jack Johnston-esque number entitled Ukulele.
Exactly right.
And unfortunately, I think anybody who anybody who kind of plays ukulele will always be likened to kind of Jack Johnston. I think he's kind of set the precedent, unless you're like Tiny Tim or fucking, I don't know. I can't think of anybody else who plays ukulele. And this is kind of courtesy of an artist by the name of Frederick Conradson. And I would say this is something that kind of sets the tone for the first few songs. They're incredibly easy to listen to and kind of highly enjoyable. But as you said, there is a lot more on this album. It's not exclusively kind of acoustic or kind of bluesy numbers. There's a track number 6 on the download that you sent me is by an artist called Infidelex, all one word and all uppercase. There's a song called Mega Man, and this is a bit of a kind of trip hop rap number. Is that fair to say? I'm not very good at kind of putting music into the various different categories of genres, but I think that's what it is. Track number 10 by an artist called Le Joutre, and it's called Corinne, which I really, really enjoyed. It was one of the kind of standout tracks for me of the album. I found that Corinne is Spanish for they run, or alternatively is an Irish given name, but I don't think they're Irish. I think they are Spanish. They sing in Spanish.
They're actually.
Oh no, here we go.
They're actually Slovenian.
Are they Slovenian?
So they're from. It says here it was recorded in Ljubljana. Is that how you pronounce Ljubljana? Which is
some way off the mark, Glenn. That probably doesn't mean that at all.
Eh?
That probably Corinne probably doesn't mean that.
Meaning of it in Spanish, yeah, maybe not. But yeah, I think they're singing in Slovenian. It would make sense, but perhaps I don't know. But yeah, it's a good track.
There's a few artists on the download anyway that kind of feature more than once. I think
sorry. on the album, all the artists only feature once. So I think there's extra. The bonus tracks are the ones that kind of double up on the artist, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. One of these bands being the Dirty Teapots, which are great, man. Like so good.
Hot Teapots.
Yeah, Dirty Stomp by the Dirty Teapots.
That's the one, yeah.
It's a fantastic wee number. As you said, it's not exclusively just kind of acoustic and kind of bluesy numbers. I've kind of described this track as opening with an almost kind of mariachi sounding trombone or trumpet. Unfortunately, kind of horns and brass aren't really my forte, so I don't know which one it is. But it reminded me quite a lot of something kind of Tom Waits might have recorded or released in his album Real Gone. They feature, certainly in the recording that you sent me over, they kind of feature again towards the end of the kind of 33 songs with a song called Some of These Days. And it's just great. I mean, it feels like something straight from the 1940s. Has a real kind of skiddle feel to it. It feels like a kind of almost modern adaptation of a Lonnie Donegan song. Unfortunately, it won't be on the album, but it's on the kind of bonus material.
I definitely preferred Dirty Stomp, the album track.
Oh, really?
I think it sounds, the vocals especially sound quite a lot like Paolo Nutini. There's definitely that kind of Paolo Nutini sort of soulful jazz and swing sort of influence there.
Mm-hmm.
And the track, the other track, it feels a bit. It's kind of like it's a bit like a Disney song to me, like sounds like the Bare Necessities or something like that. Which the vocals are still great, but that it feels a bit like that for me. So I definitely prefer Dirty Stomp album track, but they sound like a pretty good band.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Another one that really stuck out for me as well, and that it should be on the album, is track number 15, Loca Melody.
Yes.
Paca. Yeah, that's the one.
These guys are from Spain, or at least it was recorded in Madrid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I suppose because I keep coming back to it. There is a lot of acoustic-y stuff on this album. So I think that's what makes songs like Dirty Stomp and Loca Melody stand out all that much more. Yeah. This kind of song opens with kind of a horn section as well, acoustic guitar, really stripped down kind of drum set, and a kind of smattering of what I've described as kind of tinkling glockenspiel or kind of xylophone, and some really commanding vocals. Like, it really kind of makes you sit up and listen to them. And again, yeah, I've kind of said that they're singing in Spanish, so hopefully, given that it was recorded in Madrid, they are singing in Spanish.
Yeah,
and I'm not being a massive racist.
The melody on this song is it not Painted Black by the Rolling Stones? Is that not the main sort of melody that runs through it?
Possibly. I didn't think that at the time, but possibly.
Played on like a horn or something. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's the melody that kind of runs through the intro.
I have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the standout tracks as well. And like, I really like the sort of quite gravelly female lead vocal, and then you get the sort of shouted gang vocals that come in when the rest of the band join in. Yeah, really good track, definitely.
How did you feel about Made for Living by Makala Hostel?
Do
I quite enjoyed that one.
you know what track that is?
I've got a feeling it's maybe number 17.
Yeah, it is. The way that song starts, it just sounds like any other acoustic song. So you're kind of like, oh, it's another one of these acoustic songs.
Mm.
There's quite a lot of them. But then it completely changes and turns into like this bouncing sort of swing track with loads of brass, and it's got like a real jump to it. And I think it's a good track, but I think what makes it even better is that it kind of upends your expectations from the way it begins, and and sort of because there's a lot of acoustic stuff on this, you're expecting it to just be another sort of acoustic singer-songwriter track, and then it does something completely different. And the way this album, as I have it, is sort of divided into 4 sides, the two discs and 4 sides. So it ends side C on so the first side of the second disc, and it's just a good way to end that side.
Yeah, man.
You're sort of listening to it on a record. That's a good way to just end on that side. So I wouldn't. It's not necessarily. It's definitely a standout track. It's not necessarily one of my favourites of the standouts, if that makes sense. But I think it's a good track and definitely an interesting track.
I think the reason why I've kind of pointed out or highlighted is because you're right. It does kind of upend your expectations because I've described it as it sounds like a cross between Frank Turner and the Cherry Popping Daddies, and it's complete with this kind of speakeasy-esque kind of section where the kind of swing kind of feel, which I really enjoyed, and it was it's nice. You don't often hear it, so it's quite good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff on here is stuff that I wouldn't necessarily listen to, but I wouldn't
turn it off. You wouldn't turn it off, though, would you? You know what I mean? Because
no, exactly.
I've kind of described it. Well, as I said, it's a lot of it's neither here nor there, but it's nice, it's enjoyable, it's easy to listen to. It's something I've actually described it as being the perfect accompaniment to your first morning coffee of a weekend.
Yeah, it's
very specific, but it is something you could imagine just having, on in the background while you're going about your day, kind of thing, or going about your business, about the house.
Yeah, just sit of an evening, flicking through a magazine or something, have this on in the background. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these songs you could imagine being in, chill out compilations and what have you. That's not to say that, I did enjoy it. But I think that's what makes, the songs we've just mentioned stand out all that more, all that bit more, as I said. I found it really quite refreshing to kind of hear people singing in their own accents as well, and in some cases singing in their own languages as well, which was cool. There was a few instrumental numbers in there as well. Maybe not so much on the vinyl. There's maybe only one on the vinyl, but there's certainly a couple. And the download you sent me, I think like the second last song, which I've got a feeling is called "Empty Winds." I couldn't tell you the name of the artist, but he's kind of playing in one of those kind of pan steel drums.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked that.
Yeah, it's I wonder if that was kind of excluded because it didn't. It's quite short. Maybe didn't fit with the vibe of the album. Maybe.
Possibly.
Someone is obviously taking a decision to leave it off, but I think it's quite a cool instrumental. The other instrumental that stands out for me and is on the album is track 21, and that is Jacek Petrovic's Northern Light. That's recorded in Krakow. It's a Polish artist, and it's like classical flamenco style guitar.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not. I mean, it says here there's 2 people performing it. I initially thought he was using like
Pedals or something.
Sorry.
Pedals or something.
Or even just body slaps to the guitar to keep the beats. But I think maybe there's somebody on a Cajun or some sort of acoustic drum or something there. But I find that track to be phenomenal.
There was a point in that track. I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but there was a moment there where I thought he was going to start playing the Game of Thrones.
there is a bit. Yeah, I know the bit you mean.
Because it is da-da-da-da, and you're like, what? But it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it goes in a totally different direction. This is just good. I'm glad it didn't suddenly become a cover of the Game of Thrones theme tune.
Aye.
But yeah, I think that's a great track. And the song just before it is just a cover of a song called Fisherman's Blues by the Waterboys, but it's a really good cover.
Are they Scottish?
They're not Irish.
The Waterboys? I've no idea. Probably Irish.
I think they're Irish. I mean, this version's recorded in Galway, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're recording they're covering an Irish artist.
I remember like listening to that, and I was like, I'm sure I've heard that before. Like, I've heard that song. So I was thinking, do I know Hot Whiskey? But then kind of further into the song, I was like, no, that is just a straight up cover of another song, isn't it? It's good though. It's a good cover.
It's a good cover. So I mean, yeah, I think it's a good. There's a good variety of stuff on here. I think I suppose it's a testament to the sort of recording ability and equipment that this guy has put in his van is that it all sounds amazing.
Yeah.
The quality of the production is incredible. Like you wouldn't listen to this and think some boy's recorded this in his van.
No, you absolutely would not.
I think it just sounds like it's been done in a studio to really high quality, and it's really quite impressive. So I think it's what he's done. He's had a really good idea, and he's gone out. He's had a lot of fun creating this, and he's executed it really well. And you can tell by the fact that he's got these 23 tracks, and then he's got a bunch of kind of leftovers that he has put some thought into to which songs should go on and where they should be positioned. There are some kind of strong songs at the ends of certain sides of the record as well. So. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good album. I think it's difficult to give it a rating, though.
We'll see. I hadn't because it was a compilations album.
Yeah. But I don't think that matters. I don't think we necessarily need to rate it. I think
no.
I think it's an album that it's worth checking out. You can, I just bought the record on a whim because I thought it was a really interesting kind of
idea,
and half of the profits I think as well are being donated to charity as well. So it's kind of for a good cause. But yeah, just a really interesting concept.
Is there plans to do any more Snedds? Do you know?
I don't. He's done this, and then he's releasing a documentary.
I saw that.
Yeah, so there'll be that. But as far as I don't know if there's any kind of other things. But I mean, I think he's he's an audio engineer, so he'll go on to do other production jobs,
other things,
maybe some other projects like this.
So I quickly kind of zipped through the website and kind of read about the documentary, and I think I read about a book. Does the book come with the vinyl?
No, you can. No. They're all. You can order a bundle. I think I've just bought the vinyl on its own, so you can get a bundle with the book and some stickers and whatnot. And presumably, once the DVD comes out, you can buy the whole package as well, which would be quite quite cool, I think.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I think it'd be because I think the purpose of the book is to go into detail about some of the songs and the artists in particular, which would be quite interesting. Yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. I think the documentary would be quite cool as well, actually.
So yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think if you want to hear a variety of different sort of relatively sort of chill out music, I suppose, from around Europe, and then it's definitely worth checking out. Even if you just want something you can just put on of an evening and enjoy.
Yeah.
So, and with an interesting story behind it as well.
Sounds good.
Read the future right on this beat. Infidelics rep for these streets. Trust what I say, we got the same goals. We're both getting old, never trying to eat. Llegaron que la tens per descobrir y tot allò que me amagat. Oh well, we like to waste our time singing silly songs. We like to hang around when the sun is gone. We're swaying like monkeys, dance like the birds. Staying out all night out in heaven. Georgia, Georgia. Propia jugada, si mi madre no me pudo, dime quién me para. ¿Dónde está? Metida en una caja de manzana.
It's not finished. It's finished.